Hello, welcome to Will Forge. Today we will forge. So yeah, I've got this going on. We're going to where is my stream on YouTube because that's where I prefer to watch chat. But yeah, so we got this going on. Got a shroud. I built one new that has fewer pieces so that it moves and functions. And it also functions as a shroud according to all of the like where you can go in Halo 2, how it provides cover, all that sort of thing. I left this side open because I couldn't find a second piece that fit over here as well as the other side without blocking everything off. The gigantic hexes I put over here as that side, block off the light for the most part. It raises up and then you'll see the light, but that kind of just brings accent to it. You've got these lights as well, which I might have to switch to yellow because they don't currently match all of the others. Actually, I don't even know if you can switch that to yellow now that I think about it, but we'll see. I'm going to put a glass panel in here because being able to walk through the shroud is not functionally the same as the original. But let's see. It looks pretty cool. It looks really cool whenever it's moving. Let's see. Where's glass? That's in accents, right? Or is that in something else? Yeah, glass. There it is. Glass. Okay. And it's gonna need to look kind of like it's dirty and damaged, so I think it would be kind of foggy. So let's go ahead with this one. That way you'll definitely see it. Ooh, I don't know if this is gonna scale while dynamic. Maybe I can't do glass here. I'm surprised the glass doesn't have options. Yeah, I don't think I can do glass in this piece. In that case, I could fill it in with something else, like a panel. Like one of these. Or maybe more like one of these. Yeah. That looks good. I just gotta switch to make it 40. Nope, that's no good. Well, that pokes through the floor. Okay, now it doesn't. Yeah, that works. Okay, just gotta make sure it's over here. We're gonna see it moving in a minute. Again, like yesterday. Can you... Yeah, you can kind of get onto that, can't you? Yeah, and walk up it. Okay, yeah. Then that means you'll be able to ride it up. And that's not good. You don't want to be riding it up into the ceiling and get an even better sniping point. In my glow-up version, I can just delete this and let it happen, but I think as soon as it starts to move dynamically, it's going to sort of boot you out of it. But in this version, we do not want that. This is the one-to-one, so... Let's see. And then we're going to put this here. I think I had it like that. So it retains some of that texture. Ah, okay. Apparently this thing has different texture on each side. Oh, no. No. It was here. That's where it was, right? No, it was where I had it before. And yet, for some reason, it's got this like bordered texture on there that's different from the ones on the other side. That's kind of weird. Ooh, don't want that to poke out. Okay. There we go. Does this one poke out still? Nope. Okay. So that should be a fully functional pump shroud. Let's go ahead and watch it move up and down because it's really cool. I need to put little player block or object blockers or whatever right there so that these fusion coils stand up. Oh, didn't mean to grab that. Meant to get in here. Now that piece over there I designed to stay put because it kind of looks cool with the way that I had to leave this side open. Kind of gives an explanation. It's attached to this central pipe here. And it comes down, and if you try to hide on it, though, you'll get crushed. So, why is that thing so light? That's weird. Yeah. Gotta figure out what's up with that one piece, because we've got like 4 of that piece and all the rest of them aren't light. I don't know what's up with that. Is it creating too much lag? That's the question. I am getting some jitter there. It wasn't before, but maybe I finally reached a point where I have too many objects. Let's see, what is... Okay, so it's not about that, it's gotta be about texture. Oh, they do have their textures here. Why is this so bright? There's nothing about this that should be bright. I mean, they've got the bright blue as a color. It's like... Oh, weird. It's... Okay, this is a glitch. I don't need to change anything, I don't think. It took on the texture of a block. Look, it's got the orange grid and the white. So it took on the texture of those little blocks, you know? Too laggy. Yep. Too laggy for the game, or are you saying too laggy for my stream? Actually, what happened to all these? All of the textures are really weird all of a sudden. Do I need to close and reopen? I don't want to have to do that. Okay. I think half of the thing had not loaded in just now. Yeah, that definitely just caused a glitch, but I think it has something to do with this weird texture glitch. Let's leave. I think it's freaking out because it doesn't know what's going on with the map. We're gonna have to close it and go, reopen it. Oh, the game. Yeah, exactly. Couldn't tell if you meant the game or the stream, but yeah. Looks amazing. Yeah, I agree. And it was Clin's help. It was Clin that made it look amazing. If it wasn't for the fact that it was moving, I'm reopening it, sorry. If it wasn't for the fact that it was moving, it wouldn't look so amazing. So, like, whatever else I throw together to make it look fancy is irrelevant. The move is what... The fact that it animates all at once is what makes it look really cool. I might have to cut some objects, though, because we saw that. And at least, like, 3 times it has dropped and timed perfectly with the sound effect of Waterworks in the background from Halo 2. And I think that's hilarious. Like, it was... And the sound effect was perfectly timed. It's great. But yeah, okay, here we go. If it'll let me log in. I don't know what happened to that. Is it always going to do that now? It used to automatically log you in without having to select log in and let's play or whatever it is, and then like get into the game. But in the last week, I think, they suddenly started requiring you to press buttons at the intro to log in, and I hate it. So, do I need to like boot my Xbox and log in there or something like that at some point? And then, because I haven't since we moved, so maybe I like timed out on something, and now it needs to manually log in every time. I have no idea. But we're almost there. Almost there. Let's see. Whew. And it's booting up. Hopefully the textures are fixed. And if they are, hopefully that means that the game is also not lagging out. Because that might be too many objects. Maybe I need to delete those ones I just put in there. Come on, come on. You'd be surprised how hard it was to find pieces to build out this section here. And, like, it was pretty difficult to find anything that was angled and even anywhere close to what is supposed to be there. But then nothing was big enough to, like, match this. And this was the only thing that was close enough. And then so, like, this ended up being required to sort of make a junction between them. And it looks really good, but it's just like... You'd be surprised how hard it was to find all of that. Okay. Everything else should load in, please. Okay, load it back in. Is it still bad texture? No, everything looks to be the correct textures now. And I'm not seeing any lag either. Yeah, there's a bug. There's a weird popping thing where like all of them disappear and reappear, and that might be a problem for due to having too many of them. Okay, nope. I thought it had finally leveled out, equalized. Okay. I finished this basically last night and got to a point where I was like, alright, I gotta go to bed, and I couldn't even like really test it, so you're seeing the testing of it right now. So I know that technically I could get rid of... No, I couldn't get rid of that because yeah, never mind. I think these panels are the only thing that could really like get rid of easily. Maybe that thing, but I kind of ended up leaving this open to where you could drop out if you wanted to. You can also kind of just drop out here. I figured if I'm gonna have these weird little, these side little areas here that allow you to drop out. Oh, let's see. What the hell is that? An elevator? Why that? Do that? Popping. Popping in the microphone or popping with the speakers? They're popping with the sound effects. What do you mean? This is a giant, it's called well, I've been calling it the pump shroud. It's from Halo 2's Waterworks. It's sort of, this giant structure in the middle seems to be a gigantic water pump. It's resting in an enormous puddle of water, enormous, well, and it pumps, it like goes up and down constantly, so I'm pretty sure that it is supposed to be a, you know, a water pump. And this seems to protect all of these hoses up here and stuff like that as it comes down, because every time it hits, it drops a bunch of rocks down in the original Halo 2. So I call it the pump shroud. So we've got all of this going on though. Trying to think. Yeah, all I can think to do is redelete those two we just added. These panels, and just let you kind of climb into it if you want to. Because people don't really come up here all that often anyway. They might start knowing this, and they will once we have the grapple hook and the repulsor in, that you can get up here without the Banshee. But yeah, let's see. Thanks. Let's see. We're actually almost done. You know what? I can delete this. You know what? This might actually be causing some problems. Because if this is, you know what? I'm going to prefab this. And then I'm going to save that prefab off because I don't want to completely lose this. Let's see. Because it could... Old experiment for movement. It could become valuable in the future to just retain this code. But it is old. But it also is moving and it's dynamic objects, so having that in the map might have been making it lag out with the new pump shroud. So that would definitely add to it. But I also need to test it on the server because let's see if this is actually a little bit better, a little cleaner movement. It seems to take a long time to load in as well. Wow, that was perfectly timed with Waterworks once again. I really like it whenever that happens, but it looks like it's popping again. It's still popping. It might be related to that script being overwhelmed, specifically, with too many objects. So yeah, I think we gotta delete these again. It was working pretty good before I put those on. I don't believe that it was lagging as much. But yeah. Let's see what we've got up here. There goes the pop. Whenever it goes to move. It probably has to do with the fact that it has to delete the objects as part of the script and then rebuild them. Sort of. Or rather they get deleted whenever they get interacted with, and that's what keeps it updated with the server to the players. I might need to... Yeah, I might need to reduce the number of objects. It kind of seems to be the right height, though. Because it just barely goes into the ceiling, just like the one in Waterworks. I don't know. We gotta see it on an actual server. But to get it actually, I think this isn't actually necessary. Let's delete it and see. Yeah, it's not necessary. It was kind of just cool. It was a leftover of a different way I was building it, and then I just sort of left it there. But this is actually a little bit less in your face than having that on there anyway. So that's pretty cool. Let's try that. See if that's smooth enough. We don't need to be looking at it immediately at spawn. We can just look up at it afterward. Give it time to cook. There was still that little popping just now. Running into a rock. Still pops for a second as everything despawns and respawns, but it's not as bad. Well, can't jump up right there, gotta go a little to the side. There we go. Okay, let's see what we've got from a distance. Yeah. It was working very, very, very smoothly without that popping in. Along, you know, yesterday whenever we were, One way I could do it is actually simplify this by having a wider panel like this one here, and have it come over and then just delete that, which is a pretty cool little shape that adds like lights and detail inside here. So I kind of liked it, but it's not... It's kind of cool here, but it's not entirely necessary. So if we're trying to get for, you know, fidelity, for smoothness of movement, that's probably what's got to go. In which case we would duplicate this, reset its rotation because it's a dynamic object, and sometimes dynamic objects' rotations get all messed up. And then we would delete this and delete this. Ah, that was covering up that little yellow line. Oh well. Let's see. Oh wait. I made an elevator without a switch, so it would just go up and down unlimited times, and the up and down speed could be adjusted rather than delete and load the objects back in. Could you add a dust effect that goes away as it's raising? It could mask it. That is true. That is true. A dust effect would definitely do that. That looks basically as good as over here. I do like that extra chunkiness right there, but it reduces the number of objects by 2, and I think that's substantial enough to be worth the sacrifice. You know what I mean? The visual sacrifice is like, yeah, I think we can do that. That's not a big deal. It also adds more rustiness to it, because those other pieces don't get grime for some reason. The grime layer just doesn't load. What is happening here? This should be 1 degree straighter. Which also means that this is slightly off. And I centered this based off the way that one was located. It still looks centered. I don't know what happened to that made them off-center before. That's weird. Anyway. Let's see how smooth that is. It might help. And then once we... Oh, I didn't set those to dynamic, did I? Wait, what was happening to that? Why were they... Where are my objects? No, they're loading in like the lights do sometimes. Okay, let's see. Are these not dynamic? They are dynamic. That one's dynamic. And that one's dynamic. Okay, I don't know why it didn't load in properly. Or why it among all of the objects is the only one that didn't disappear. It rather made it feel weird. Okay. Yeah, it still pops. If But you're right. If we have dust clouds, tons and tons of dust clouds, that will definitely do it. I'm struggling with the dust clouds on the like triggering them properly over here, because the player has to destroy this for it to activate. But you're right that I mean, but if we like basically if we use a dust cloud over here, if this was just slightly larger, I would only need one instead of two of them. Anyway, whoa, it doesn't go to all the way to the ceiling. I didn't realize that. I can put a rock there and make it look like it goes to the ceiling. These don't go to the ceiling either? Oof. I don't want people to be able to get up here and then die as it rises up and crushes them. I don't actually care. They can die. Okay, it actually doesn't matter if it doesn't go all the way to the ceiling, because these rails do, and it kind of looks like the shroud just doesn't cover the whole thing or something. I don't know. And you won't see it from the bottom. You'll only see it if you're in a banshee or if you try to grapple hook. I still haven't fixed the ceiling yet. Speaking of, let's just do that really quick. What is happening? Why is it not scaling? Oh, it is. It's just set to such a small. Okay, there we go. I just want it to work, so I'm not too concerned about how, you know, people are going to see that there's a gap up here. I can fill it in with rock or something else as we go. Let's see though, what are y'all saying? What does the script look like? Let's see, could you add dust effect that goes away? It's rising. Wow, it has been a while since I last watched your stream. This is amazing. Thanks. Subject to the theme master on YouTube. Yeah. So I think that here you go. Oh, that's not the script brain. What am I talking about? The script brain's down here. That is a very important area in the script brain. This is what Clint came up with, and it's genius. And I'll show you right now. Okay, so it's somewhat large with some custom, you know, event and on damage and stuff like that. Okay, so basically what he's got going on is you've got your original position of all of your objects. You pull that in right here. You grab all the objects in that area that you just saw that that lit up whenever I looked at that arrow above the map. It grabs all those objects, it applies them to the variable for each of those objects. It applies their current position to the object's position to it's an object scope variable, so it stores a copy of it in each of the objects. It applies it to that variable in each object, so each object is holding its actual original position at the beginning of the match inside of it. Then it triggers ascend. Ascend is here. Ascend has an iterator, so it counts up each time for each object in it. Excuse me. For each object in it, it damages the ascending controller by 1 point, and then it waits 8 seconds, and then it activates the global event descend. And descend, it does the exact same thing, damages it by 1 point for the descending controller, waits 3 seconds, and then it triggers ascend. And we're going to alter those times to match Waterworks. So then ascending controller is on the object being damaged, right? Which is the controller itself. When the ascending controller is damaged, it triggers this event, and this allows this event to happen simultaneously for all objects in there across the board. If you just put like a list in there and you try and do that, the more objects you have, the more it lags, and then eventually you have objects like getting off sync and everything getting messed up. So whenever this ascending controller takes damage, it sets the number variable of the iterator get number variable iterator add. So basically each time it happens where you uptick the iterator, it immediately damages it by 1 and whatnot. Anyway, so okay, here we go. The delete object, what it does is it gets the object list variable, gets an object at the index, so the current object, it deletes it, and then it spawns it back in. And so and then it gets the object position, and then it vector3 variable, all this kind of stuff, and it translates the object to the point over 1 second. The point is 120z added to its current position, basically you end up with set vector 3 variable. So it gets the object position, and it's like that's the original position now, and it basically does all this. Yeah, so you can kind of see how this works. We went over it whenever I was making it, not making it, but copying it over from his, and we have a video where he explains it in detail. That I can play now if you want. I just put it full screen, and it's like a 4 or 5 minute video that he made for me. And he's going to release an official one that he's going to do with a guide for how you can do it at home, but he's just not ready yet. So let's see. I had it in my downloads folder. Let's see. And Windows Media Player was giving me trouble, so I'm going to have to open it in Movies and TV. And I also just opened something else. I have no idea what it is. Oh, no.
Hey, what's up, Will Forge, all my cool stream viewers.
Why is it asking me?
Today we're going to learn how to make things move up and down. So I've built this beautiful contraption
here. We are going to pause
to
this and move it to the other screen. Why can't it move? Here we go. Can you see this? Okay, you're not going to be able to see it yet. Let me go to OBS and turn off my Halo Infinite stream. There you go. Now you'll be able to see it. And I'll turn off the that one. And he's not doing anything low left corner, so it's not a big deal.
Shroud.
Here, let's start over.
Hey, what's up, Will Forge, all my cool stream viewers. Today we're gonna learn how to make things move up and down. So I've built this beautiful contraption here that's supposed to represent the Waterworks Shroud, and it's all made of dynamic objects. So the important part here is that all the objects are set to disappear if they get touched, so they are synced between the server and the client. We'll take care of that despawning in the script. So to control the rising and falling of those objects, I've got 3 pointers on the scene. One that has a monitor area, and it's to access all those objects.
Real quick, I think rewatching this was really helpful because I just realized I never set the new objects to despawn, and that's probably the problem.
One called ascending control, and another one called descending control, which we'll talk about later. So let's dive into the script. So we've got 3 variables, one to track each object's original position, one iterator, and a list for all those Shroud objects. When the game starts, we grab all the objects from the area and we store them in our objects list. Then, for each object, we store the original position. And finally, we trigger the ascent. So the ascent is where things get interesting. The key here is that for each object, we're calling the damage object node. This is crucial because it lets us have multiple translate object nodes at once concurrently. That's why we needed those 2 pointers earlier. On the ascending controller pointer, we have an onDamage event. When this event is triggered, we do the following. Increase the iterator, grab the object at the position in the list, delete and respawn it to counteract the delayed spawn we set earlier. And finally, we move the object up 85 units over 7 seconds using an ease in out qubit curve. If we look back at the ascent function, we'll see that we wait 8 seconds before starting the descent. The descent is pretty much the same as the ascent but in reverse, and the object fall back to their original positions. And that's all there is to it. This Waterworks Shroud is now up and running.
Brilliant. Okay, so I just realized what is probably the solution is possibly the solution to all the popping is that none of these are set to despawn. They're supposed to, when disturbed, and they're supposed to be set to 180 on every one of these. Let's select things that are similar, because it should, yeah, that'll let us do them all at one time. Okay, so that should solve the issue, but if it doesn't, then we'll have to figure out something else. I don't know how much of them are either. Like, these haven't even been set to it. Nope. So that's a vital component. That was one of the things that makes it all smooth. These I had to like delete and remake because sometimes they just randomly weren't included. I don't know why. Or no, I didn't end up finding out why and solving it. But anyway, let's see. It was, oh wait, I just didn't select the other side, so now I gotta do them separately. Okay, this one, I might not even have even done it for the main things in the middle. This might smooth it all out, in which case we might be able to even put back those other objects. I hope that that this is super smooth. We don't have to worry about it. Because I had objects in here that were set up for that. And that, during that time, it was super duper, like, extremely smooth. And then I had to delete them because they weren't the right objects for the build. Okay, did I get everything? I got this one, right? Yeah. Okay. Oh wait, did I get I got the cubes? Yeah, okay, cool. We're gonna go with that. There we go. Let's see how smooth it is. Let's see if that how much that changes. Okay, it's getting started. Everything's actually spawning in correctly because there we go. Okay. It did pop again anyway. Yeah, the map is getting really close to its maximum, and that might be related. I wonder if I'm not going to have to delete more items on it. I hope not. I really hope not. Because it's looking real nice. Let's see. Well, at least the server smoothed out, like it's not messing up my movement. It's just popping at that one part. I'll have to ask Glenn if he knows, because he's the one who invented it, so he'll have interacted with all of these issues before, during his own debugging. So if I ask him, wow, what a great workaround! I know, right? It's like he uses damage because the servers prioritize, you know, damage above everything else because the first-person shooter. Of course, you got to prioritize damage. But like, yeah, it's crazy. I think I can reduce the number of objects. If I delete this one and move these over, then I could theoretically use two of this at this corner. One of them that sort of comes this way and then goes at an angle, and then this one that comes at an angle and then goes into it. You know what I mean? I don't know why it's doing this. But anyway, like if I, let's see, world, rotate it by 180, and then rotate it by 15 degrees. I could line it up here, and then do something like this, and that's wider, so then I can delete that piece that was there, like this one, and the one over here. It's about twice as wide as those pieces, so it'll fill in the same amount of gap in the structure, and then that would allow me to move all of this over and sort of line it up at that corner, which would, in theory, allow me to reduce the number of objects by 2. I could delete one from each side, and then this will basically replace this one, so we'll still just have 2. I could also theoretically maybe use this same technique to end up deleting these and replacing them, but yeah. I also don't necessarily need this piece. That's just there to kill you if you try and hide up on this thing, because I didn't want to add an extra platform to the map that they didn't have, but I could also just like put an object blocker up there, you know, a player blocker, I mean. Yeah, so I don't know if I want to just like actively do this until I know for sure what's causing it, because Clint might come in and say, oh, no, just do this and it'll fix it, you know what I mean? I've got, apparently there's a thick side and a thin side, and I've got a, yeah, interesting. That's kind of unusual. but okay, I don't really have... It's not an object can just be mirrored. That's really weird. Anyway, but yeah, this is it for now. I'm going to leave it for now and just start finishing up the other stuff because I want it to be like the smoke, the dust cloud. Let's see, FX. Where is that? That's in atmospherics, I think. Yeah, dust is in atmospherics. I'm going to do dust hanging, dust falling, nope, that's steam falling. Dust, was it drifts? Where's dust drifts large? Why do they have... That's weird. Okay, well I used them for something else. For some reason I don't know which one to use. Let's see. Dust Devil, I think, stays in one place. And that's not what we're looking for. Dust Drift. There's a 4x32. What is a 4x32? Does that mean it's like... I don't know what it means by 4. Like, why is it such a small number? Whereas the other side is... I guess it's just really long, but it's like a 4x4 square, but that doesn't make any sense. Drifts Medium. Now this one is really slow. Okay. So I think that if we have... Okay, what if we put this one as always there and drifting downward, right? And then we put the other one... Actually, wait, is this the one that always drifts up? Oh, that explains it. Okay. So some of them will drift in the direction you point them, and some of them will always drift, like according to defying gravity, like smoke. Oh wow, this one catches in the wind. That's cool. You can direct which angle you want the wind in this game, in this forge, so yeah. Apparently this one will actually blow in the wind. But that's not what we want. We want something that'll go down, so it looks like it's falling dust. So let's see. Yeah, that's pretty big. That'll cover a lot of the shroud. Oh, no, don't magnet, please. And let's see. That looks like it's coming pretty good. It's kind of clipping through the wall. Let's go over here. There we go. And then we will put another one. Actually, we can probably, let's see. We can probably put one right here. Because it doesn't need to be... Yeah, that will like help cover the shroud itself. And obviously we're going to try to make these trigger on events. That's something I have never done before, is triggering the effects. Last forge I used was, you know, Halo Reach. So, let's see, that will help. But honestly, they disappear at a certain distance. How far is that distance? Ground level. You're still going to see the popping, unless you're really close. That's one of the things that's been bothering me, is that like there, you won't even see the effects of the dust falling, unless you're like right up on it. Which is kind of annoying. That's a limitation of this of the system, unfortunately. So there's not really much I can do about that. One thing I want to know is, that I don't understand about the effects, is I tried spawning it to make it happen, right? But it's not like it's despawning itself, apparently. I thought it was like despawning itself as it comes to an end, but apparently it's not, and I'm confused by that. So that's one thing that like I have no experience with so far. But we have a couple of those for now. We have this one here, which we will duplicate and put over here as well. And hopefully this isn't too much for the, you know, Xbox to handle. Because I'm on PC, and I have 32 gigabytes of RAM. And I've got a decent I have the min-spec graphics card, but let's see, we're just going to duplicate these two and bring them back over to the other side. Let's see, duplicate all the way to the other end. Bring it really high up. And then I want to see what happens. Do those just play once and then never play again? I have to activate them again? Like, what exactly is it? Like, how exactly do they work? Boy, this is really far away from any banshees. Let's see. I also need a object blocker here so that they can drop, so they don't fall over like that. Let's see. Man, attacking these bases is going to be very different in Infinite than it was in Halo 2. Very different. Because you're going to have all sorts of, like, things you can do. Like, throw grapple shot. I mean, throw fusion coils. What's going on here? Okay, so the smoke is constantly coming down right now. I could just despawn it and respawn it in the script at a certain point. Like if I just say, yeah, all of these will despawn, and then it won't play anymore, and then I'll respawn it again and sort of just reset them, because they're such a slow start that I may not even have to wait, just because of how little time it is before it starts like moving again. So I might just despawn it, respawn it, and then they will just start puffing again. They'll start over their puff, and that will sort of give us the effect that we're going for. But I might have to. I'll like I said, I'll ask Glenn and see if that popping can be reduced by just deleting objects if I have too many objects. And if that's the case, then that will just be what I do. Like I said earlier, I can reduce it by 2 more objects very easily. And we'll see if that is enough to bring it down to nothing. Another thing I can do is just delete that object and delete this thing. They look cool, but they're not necessary, and might as well just leave it open there. But yeah, it's looking pretty good so far. I can also, one more object I can get rid of through some cleverness, or not cleverness, through some compromise, is this piece, if I put 2 of these wider panels there. But I don't know, I really like all this stuff, so I want to keep them where I can. What I do want to do is, I want to grab this and see if there's a way to change the color of those lights to yellow to match the lights on the entire rest of the map. Because this is not Forerunner, typical Forerunner color, but it is in fact what they have in. Whoa! What is this? Why is this changing emissive or color? Why is that's weird? Huh? You just have it a very slightly faint blue color. Okay, now this doesn't make any sense. None of these colors are supposed to be here. This is a bug. I wonder if this object used to have the ability to edit the color of those lights, and they were the 2 swatches, and so they had the swatches set to blue, but then they took that out, and now that only can change the color of the metal. But yeah. Okay, we've got we got something good going on here. And like I said, I think I can bring down the roof if I want to seal off these gaps. That shouldn't be too hard. Or put something metal there. I was already thinking about putting it like there's a so whenever you look up, it doesn't look like rock. It looks like some kind of receiver. So a giant metal piece that doesn't have to move. Or a static metal piece would work. But yeah. Yeah, so anyway, the objects, they have to move, right? Let's see, let's look at the script. Again, real quick. The script is like, yeah, we're going to translate. Okay, where is it? Weight, damage, translate, where's the translate again? Translate object, here we go. On object damaged. Yeah. whenever that pointer gets damaged, it translates the object. And this triggers the index, or like iterates it. Yeah, okay, never mind. We already went through all that. I don't need to go through it again. Here we go. Okay. So yeah, I think that we can. There's some like holes here and there that I need to shore up. Like this in particular was a hole that I need to close up because it was just there so I could go outside while I was having a bug. That blocks, vehicles. It's a vehicle blocker, and I had a bug with the stalactites. I could theoretically finish those right now, assuming I can get the sound to go. I also need a big ol' like metallic drum sound. So what I'll probably do is have a script down here that says whenever something, maybe this one, whenever this one enters an area, it's going to play a sound, and that's it. It's just going to say whenever this object enters this area, play a sound. So it's going to play every single time it goes doom, and then it'll go back up, and it won't. Yeah, and that should work. And that's like a really simple script. And in fact, that would just require script brain because I'm just going to use it as its area monitor. And yeah, that would work out really easily. Where is the box boundary type? We can just do a cylinder. It doesn't need to have a crazy, it doesn't need to be shaped in any special way because it's gonna enter the circle either way. Okay, so now we've got that, and we're gonna need to reference that piece, so then we can go into this brain, this node, add object references. Let's see. Oh, we're gonna need a sound. Let's see. We need audio emitter. I believe that's how it works. I'm just learning audio. I think I was planning on watching a tutorial or something, finding someone doing a YouTube tutorial on how to do this, because the audio emitter needs to come from probably the middle of the map. Actually, I probably should put it inside the hood or something. Maybe right here, actually, because that would echo. I don't know if anything's gonna affect echo. I don't think it will. You've got to like put echo volumes or something like that. I'm not exactly sure how they worked. I think they might have cut that, actually. It was like an early build thing where they were going to do echo volumes, or maybe they did put them in. I don't remember. Does anyone remember anything they said about the like doorways? They were doing like thresholds and doorways. I remember seeing an image of them creating them. Oh, you know what? That might be the dev tools of how they created it. Actually. Oh, I don't need boundary. I need the audio category. There's like a metal or something. Metal. Cell rattles, distant jail, distant metal movement, distant ship interior, fence rattle, gate rattle, large shifts, metal impacts, distance. That's probably gonna be like more like a hammer. But metal movement, cave, metal movement interior, metal shifting, metal ticks, pipe movement. Let's see. Scaffolding shake, shift movements, small trees, stress movements. Okay, so one of those bangs might be metal impact distance, but that might be, I don't know exactly what that's going to sound like. I also don't know how to sample them because I just can't seem to get. Let me do create a little script. Well, I don't know. I know that you've got something to do with areas. Like I've got to set an area to this, right? And only things inside the area can hear it. Is that right? Anybody who knows would be. I would definitely appreciate any kind of information on that because I have no idea. Okay, my cylinder's gonna be weirdly angled. Oh, I'm upside down. There we go. Let's see. 2,000. Oh, 200 is the maximum. Oh no, I just didn't hit enough zeros. Whoops. Oh, 1,250 is the maximum, and that includes the entire area, so that'll work. I want everyone to hear the hammer in the middle. Okay, so where does that end? All the way down at the ground. So everyone in the entire map will definitely hear the central hammer. Okay, and it's making that thing. I wonder if, let's see, does it have spawning? It does. So if I turn... Okay. I don't know if this is going to be the right sound, but I also don't know how to trigger it fully. It is the one area that I definitely know nothing about. I did start and it wouldn't... They hit each other in midair. That was weird. Okay, I think that if everybody knocks down some of these stalactites at the same time, it's going to be hilarious because it's going to completely lag out the entire match. So hopefully people are only doing them one at a time. Hilarious in a bad way, of course. Let's see, let's do this top and bring it up to the middle because I don't know where the actual trigger location is. If it doesn't matter, you know, if it's any part of the object, that's fine. It probably is. It's probably the bounding box. But it might be the central point or something. But I think it's a bounding box. It's a collision, probably. Okay, so anyway, let's see. We need to also have this in our brains reference. So let me go in there. This is going to create another script brain reference, but that's okay. We can just delete it. Okay, we've got one of each. That's all we need. So, on events, let's see, objects, oh no, we need to do an area monitor. I mean, we do need an event, but object entered area. So if the Forerunner machinery part, nope, that's the area monitor. What's the object? Oh, okay. We just have to test to see if it's that object afterward. Right, it's an output. Okay, so our audio emitter, our script brain is going to be our area monitor. So we need to turn it into one. How does that work again? Let's see. Objects, maybe? No, wait. It might be... Is it variables? Area monitor. There we go. Boom. Boom. So we've got an area monitor. I always forget where everything is. Every single time I go to make a new script. Okay, so... is the same object. Objects are same object. If this object is this object, then a branch. We need a branch. Logic branch. Then this condition is met, and if that is true, see, this is the thing about audio is that I look at it, I'm like, what do you mean? Like, we've got play 3D audio for all players, which seems to me like that would just trigger it. But then, like, you've got to, like, stop object 3D audio loop. Like, you can start, yeah, I don't know, registered audio zone. Registers an area monitor as an audio zone so that it no longer applies audio effects to players in its boundary. When the zone is unregistered, it will remove its audio effect on any players standing in its boundary. Okay. So registering an audio zone is... registers an area monitor as an audio zone. Audio zones apply an audio effect to players, obviously, inside their boundary. Okay. Affecting how these players hear other sounds in game. Okay, so that's just literally, like, that's how you can make it so where in space it sounds like nothing. It sounds like space. Play 3D audio for team. I think it might be just play 3D audio for all players is what I'm going for. But can I just, if true, position is going to be add node. Wait. Wait a minute. Why does it not know? Why does it not ask me? Oh, I think I'm finally getting it. Okay, hold on. Now, because this thing's limitation, I think I finally understand. Forerunner machinery. Okay, so we need this, get objects, get object position. We're gonna need to get this object's position and put this here. But the thing is that this is play the audio, and we need, I think, based on what I'm looking at here, we need to register an audio zone, you know? No, that's an audio effect. Play 3D audio for team, play 3D audio for opposing teams. Set object 3D audio loop. I think that's what we gotta do. We have to say if true, set the audio loop. Or maybe on game start, set the audio loop, and then we just play the audio for all players when we want to trigger it. Is that how that works? Play for... Is it true? True. I mean, you could just set it every single time, but we may want to... I don't know if that's going to be... That's not really a problem, I don't think. Let's see. Okay, how does this work? Okay, we're done with that. Let's test it. Oh gosh, I don't want to rotate it. No. There we go. Okay, let's see. It was almost perfectly timed. Let's see how this works. Between Halo 2 and here. So does it not move fast enough, it looks like? Yeah, I need to change speed, but also the sound is not triggering, so I don't know what's going on with that. I really do need to watch some tutorials on how to do audio. In the meantime, we can go back to adjusting things like, for example, this thing's timing is off. So it was set, I went with the exact timing he had set, which is 8 seconds. I think it might be 7 seconds, which actually, yeah, of course it's 7 seconds. It was Bungie. And then this needs to be reduced down to 6 if that one is 7, because you don't want these to overlap. So if it comes down every 7 seconds and waits 3 seconds, that sounds like Bungie. That sounds very much like something Bungie would do. Okay, let's see how well that looks. I gotta deselect. Okay. Okay, let's get that thing to move. Get it to work. Get some magic. There we go. It all reappeared. No, okay. So if the sound plays out the same right before it rises every single time, yeah, right there. See if that's actually timed perfectly with that hammer in the background. And then it comes up. Yep. Oh, okay. 7 seconds, 3 seconds, of course. Godhead 3 and 1. 7 is the perfect number. Is the number of perfection. Of course Bungie made it that. Okay, we need to get that sound in there. Yeah, okay. That gives us our loop. Okay, now that our loop is timed correctly, I'm gonna have to watch some tutorials. Because this is not triggering. I don't know how to make it trigger. And, I've never gotten any audio to trigger so far. So we're gonna have to do that. Right now, I'm gonna work on fixing some mistakes. There's a gap here, for example. And I don't know when that happened, or why. I probably fixed it and then accidentally undid it at one point, because I know this central building was perfect at one point. Was literally flawless. So, because I went over every single nook and cranny of it. And this is definitely a nook and a cranny. Okay, so that's good there. And then there was another one. These corners are messed up because I had to adjust. This was one giant piece right here, and I had to add this light in. And that was whenever I adjusted these. But apparently this piece, it should be... Yeah. I made it a separate piece after a while, so it should be able to just be adjusted here. Oop, gotta turn it around. And then adjust it this way. Fill that in. I don't think that's a problem inside. Yeah, no, you can't see it inside. So it's not like it was clipping in or anything like that. There we go. That should solve that. Looks nice and clean. Okay, so we've got this going on. It's working good. For now, I'm just going to leave those dust clouds just falling all the time, perpetually, and I will turn them off and turn them on, delete them and rebuild them when necessary, because I did get... That does work as it's supposed to, it's just that these are just so slow to start that they just... Yeah. That will partially obscure it, but it won't obscure it from back here, because they're just not visible. It's kind of obnoxious. One thing that is visible from that far away would be a light, actually. And you can do fog with lights. Yeah, okay, I think I might do that. Okay. That would be a good workaround for that. Let's see. Lights. Generic light object. Yeah, I don't have any light probes or anything, actually. Let's see. What we're going to do. We're going to do a cone. That's an animation. Cone. Basic. Cloudy. Cloudy. Light rays. Light rays. Medium width. Mist. Works really good for a cloud. And we can, let's see. This one's misty. This one's smoke. Oh, that would work really nice. Soft. Wide. None. Okay. So what if I like maybe move this light? Can you make it a light dynamic? Can you make it move up and down? Physics phase. No, you can't. Okay, so all you can really do is change this animation type from like blinking bug zapper. Okay, so I could make it theoretically flicker or something. Horror. Let's see. Pulse. Probe. Or strobe, I mean. None. Okay, so if I theoretically did... Okay, bug zapper is apparently how you make it look kind of like it's shifting. Or candlelight. Candlelight looks good. It makes it look like it's moving. Like oscillating. If I increase the rate, does it go faster? Yeah, okay. And then decreasing it goes slower. There we go, probably at a percentage. But anyway, we can actually fade this. The intensity is too high. And we can change the color of it as well. Let's see. Let's change the color of the light to be brown. Which brown is actually just dark yellow. That is too saturated. It's gonna glow, isn't it? I don't know if this is a good idea. I mean, we can turn off the parent light so it won't actually light anything up. Let's see. That is like a dark pink. I guess that looks like dust. Everything else is slightly getting like a pinkish hue to it. I wonder if that's the light. We need to turn off the parent light. This is the actual light section. We need to go enable parent light. We don't want that. That might be adjusting our light of our actual fog as well. That might still be the best color. Everything that's a little more brown looking is too brown. Okay, and then we're going to cone. We're going to increase the width substantially. Let's just go to... Gosh, this might need to be like 1,000. I just did it again. 3 zeros and 1,000. That is terrible. We need to have it like 300 length. And then we can put it mostly in the ceiling. And, yeah. Does that still disappear once you get too far away? I don't know if that actually helps. It also makes it weird because we'll have to definitely have to put one on each side of the structure, so that one of them is always in front of the structure whenever whenever you're moving around or something. But I don't know if this works. It does appear to be falling, you know, smoke. And if we do an animation, a different one instead of candlelight, we could do flicker, and then we could time it. Nope, that flickers way too fast. Maybe if we could time it just right, it would flicker along with the movement of the thing all on its own, just like, you know what I mean? That might work. If not, then we got nothing there. Okay, let's duplicate it and move one over on the other side, just to see how they look. We're gonna have to go grab these out from outside the map in a minute if we're gonna move them. If we move around, they sort of rotate with the camera, and you can kind of see that, and it's kind of bad. Pretty terrible. But we can make them not as wide as all that if we're going to have more than one of them anyway. Like, we need to have one in the front here as well, and that might be enough to make it look good. Yeah, no, you can see it rotating very, very prominently. I mean, you won't move this fast in the actual game, but maybe in a Banshee while boosting. But let's see. Let's just see what that looks like in game real quick and see how it works. Okay, we gotta go up here. If you can even see it from the ground. If you can't, if this isn't actually helping. Oh wait, there's a fadeaway, isn't there? Let's see. Because like those lights haven't disappeared yet. And if I, like, there's sun rays that I put in over there that fade away here, like at the same location as the as far away, like that's way farther away than these, so these should definitely not be fading as much. There must have been a setting that I forgot about. Okay, we gotta find them now. Oof, where did I put them? I just raised them into the ceiling, so there is no telling where they are. Well, I guess there is. There's this light, which means it's above the light. Here we go. We can actually see the smoke. And that will tell us exactly where they are. Okay, where's the third one? Must be inside this rock. Yep, there it is. Okay. So now we can do... Is it the fade start, fade end, or is that just changing? I think that's where it changes, where the shape starts. Like if I go 0 here, which won't let me go to 0, then it starts at 100 away from the light. And if you go to, like, you know, 1,000, then it's going to go all the way to the ground inside the map, inside of Waterworks. So what we need to do is, I don't even know, to be honest. Light range changes how far it will actually hit. Which might increase, because with an increased range, even though it's off, it might make the light, I forget what it was, the setting that I used to adjust. Okay. Am I hitting the wall? Yeah. Yeah, it's still fading away pretty bad, and it's going to fade away from the ground. Let's see. I've been spending all day trying to fix this stupid packet loss 100% on my Xbox, even though my internet is fine. Huh. That's not good. You should, it might be your ISP, is actually, so what I had whenever I moved into this place, I don't know if these are going to work, is that they, my ISP was, messing up, and, basically they, okay, so basically what they did was they were having this, this problem where they were, what am I trying to say? Let's see, these are just fine. I don't know. Okay, yeah. So basically, my ISP was had packet loss outside the building. There was like a green little pylon in the coming out of the ground that had it inside. Yeah, I don't like this smoke at all. It's not. It's disappearing at the same distance, or well, slightly farther away than the special effects one here, but not by much, and you still can't see it from the ground. So I don't know if it's really helping, because like this is the closest. Yeah. Anyway, whereas the special effects actually start better from the ground. Oh, it's because they're so far away vertically. They're so high. Yeah, I did a packet loss on my computer. It was perfect. Even switched to hotspot, not on my ISP, and same issues. Oh, weird. So it's not related to any of that at all. I just realized what might be causing my problem is that these smoke clouds are too long. I'm going to do fade in at 120. We're going to make it really short. Nope. 150? Okay, where did they go? Oh, there they are. What the heck? Okay, there's my light object. I am confused. $250? Oh, so it is the distance away that fades away. Okay, let's do 1,000. Let's max it out. Oh, 4,000 is the maximum. Okay, so if I go really far away, it doesn't work. Okay, okay, that's better. So, oh, length is what I was trying to change. Okay, well, I learned something. There, so now it won't ever go away. And we can just flicker it. Is this the percentage that's actually fading away? Like, what's going on here? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I did a packet test on my computer. Yeah, okay. I don't know then. I don't know if this is gonna work still. What do you think? What do you guys think? It's kind of like, I'm trying to think of ways to actually make use of this. Okay, we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna deselect this one, and we're gonna bring it down. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Oh shit. That's not what I wanted at all. I'm glad that the rocks don't have like snap points or anything like that, because that makes them to where they're kind of immune to the bug where they get rotated, you know? Whenever you do stuff. Okay. Yeah, I had no idea reaching out to Xbox probably will never get a response. Yeah, probably not. Not about an internet issue. They'll just tell you it was an internet issue. Probably. Because they're gonna just be like, oh well, it's your packet loss. That's your ISP, and then they'll be like, and you'll be like, no, I checked that. It's not my ISP. My ISP is doing just fine. Because my computer is working fine. And then they'll be like, oh well, maybe it's your cable. They'll ask you to check your cable. They'll ask you to go through everything. Check maybe your router is, did you try rearranging your cables on your router to try and see if it's the port? Maybe the port is the problem. And then all that kind of stuff. But are you on Wi-Fi? No, I'm saying what they would say. And then it's like, now I'm actually thinking, wait, this might actually be a thing. Wait, hold on. Where did this light go? This light has vanished. It's right above here. Is it inside this rock? Or this one? Oh, boy, I don't know where it went. Wait, was that it? Yeah, there it is. There we go. Let's just bring them all down again for a second. But yeah, direct connection. Yeah, exactly. So they'll be like, is your port on your thing messed up? Is your, you know what I mean? Let's bring this down to a 1 on flicker. They're kind of all synced with one another, and that's making it look very unrealistic. If I could get these things to flicker, but flicker off from one another, it would look a lot more realistic. I'd have to do spawn. If I go up to when they spawn in, can I do delay? A spawn delay? Oh, does that not apply to the lights? Interesting. You can't spawn delay a light. Okay. I mean, that makes sense. It's got to build out the lighting. But yeah, getting 1000 down to 200 up, or down to 200 up, and 30 milliseconds with 100% packet loss. At least that's what network setting is showing. That's gotta be something weird. Like, that is such an unusual thing. Is there a way to hard reset an Xbox? Like the current Xbox? I imagine so. So this is just kind of strange, though. Like, I don't know if this is actually gonna work at all. It kind of just does. It doesn't feel like dust. Like, this feels like dust right here, these particle effects. But these just don't. One thing about effects is I wish that you could set the distance that they render at, because sometimes they're more important to be able to see from a distance than from up close. And yeah, the energy shields, you can see them for like ever away. That's weird. The lighting down there gets really messed up as you get farther away. Huh. Okay, anyway. So yeah, I don't think these little light rays are gonna work. What do you guys think? I don't think they're working. But yeah, so we don't need that. I don't know though. It's like as if I could actually. I'm like, it's like I'm talking like I think I could actually solve your your IT issue from all the way across the internet without being able to see the device. I'm sitting here like trying to solve. I'm like, maybe if you do 4,000 it is. That should make it to where this doesn't fade. I thought I had got it set up right. It does eventually just blink out of existence though. Look at that. That's not 4,000 away. Okay. I think I had set up that fade so that it would fade there naturally instead of looking... I was trying to make it fade naturally instead of looking like it was blinking out of existence. Because the blinking out of existence thing is way more obvious than a proper fade. I think it was 1,000? I don't remember what I had it set to before, but... $700, was it 700 or 800? Okay, now it's fading in again. Let's try 800. Yeah, right where it would normally blink out of existence is now fading. 800 is your distance if you want to do that kind of thing. But then the annoying thing is that sometimes it just blinks out of existence when you're close, and I really hate it. But down here it works out okay. Like on the ground, you can see the light. There's actually some natural light rays from the lighting system. Yes, I tried resetting it, nothing. Well, I just mean like resetting it with like a... They have like... Sometimes they have hard resets and soft resets, where you can like... Where if you use the regular button at all, it's still considered a type of soft reset, where you have to like go into it... You have to hold it down a certain amount of time and like do all sorts of stuff like that. I don't remember which console did that specifically that I'm thinking of, but I feel like it was an old Xbox console. So that's why I'm wondering. But it was like... Just pressing the power button and then leaving it off for a little bit was not a full reset. Okay, so do I have everything ready to go and all that's left is the boring stuff where I have to sort things into folders and then also sort out, go watch some tutorials on how to do audio emitters. I can't really do that on YouTube because, while Glenn is okay with me playing that video on here, he specifically sent it to me to do that. Some other people might not want me to just play their tutorials on YouTube and then keep the video up on YouTube afterwards. So I think I don't know if I can. I don't believe I can do that. They might like try to copyright strike me, and that would be lame. So unless there's something else that I needed to fix or place. Oh, there is something else. I need to finish out here. I never finished these. These things. Despawns. If you ever have a map where you're, this is my theory anyway, this is my solution to this problem, where people were spawning outside of maps and then falling to their death. Well, this is a spawn zone set to have its you know, set to negative 128, which is the lowest you can make the spawn priority. And that way any kind of spawn points out here will be the last one it picks for anybody to spawn at, even if the sight cone from players is enough. And it's not even really a spawn zone out here, it's just that the spawn zone's outside the map. The problem is that they have... What is going on? Why am I moving so slow? There we go. That should... Yeah, now my regular speed is still faster than the one that was before. But yeah, if we just lightly clip into that ledge, that cliff right there, that should work. But yeah, I factory reset the console and held it down, reset MAC address, and tested wireless, wired, and hotspot. I think it's the Xbox's end. Yeah, you're right, bro. Make the sky much brighter, so that it gives the sensation of being in a cave. Provides contrast between light / bright and dark. Well, true, except I basically I'm going to make it more dynamic looking in the in my glow up version, but in this current one, it's what I'm going to do is just make the lighting feel exactly like Halo 2, but modern. So like I set the you know how you can set the brightness. I'm just going to go right through the map. You can set the brightness of the like ambient light, not like the light from the sky. You can set that separately, but like you can set how much light sort of bounces in the settings. I have it set to match what it looks like in Halo 2, but then like it still has all of the dynamic shadows that creates all the nice nice shadows on the rocks and stuff like that. So it ends up looking pretty good. But I do think that I'll look into what you're saying, because I'm not discounting what you're saying. I'm saying that that's what I did do to do that. But right now I have it super well. I mean, you can even see stars and stuff now. But the way that I've got it set up is supposed to be like a spotlight going down into here, and the sun is aligned with it and everything like that. So I kind of just like matched that. But let's see. But I do agree that I'm going to finalize lighting further. Like I sort of just like messed around with sort of finalizing lighting whenever I did that. But then you're right that it's lighting is always the last thing you do. Well, not always. Supposedly, I mean, in game development, audio is practically the last thing you do every time. But in Forge, I think that the last thing you have to do is lighting, because you gotta adjust the lighting to be roughly what you're gonna do, and then whenever you finally get to the end, you gotta readjust lighting to make sure that it's exactly what you want. So these things are gonna envelop the entire map outside of my map, and will cut off. Let's see. We'll cut off people from respawning outside the map. Hopefully. By the way, I don't think I'm anywhere close to the end of my... I thought I hit 7,000 objects at one point. And I was like positive I hit 7,000 objects. And then we adjusted, we deleted some things to make room and all sorts of stuff like that. I kind of have to have this wall in the level, actually, so I can adjust the height correctly. Okay. Because the object is at ground level. In the ground, actually. Let's pull it up. Let's pull it up high enough to actually see. And then let's do height. In other words, I'm not trying to make it look exactly like Halo 2. That would be a downgrade of the graphics of Halo Infinite. I'm trying to make it look like Halo 2 has better graphics. You know what I mean? Like the same lighting, but not the same lighting at all at the same time. So this should prevent, once I put this underneath the map, anyone from spawning underneath the map and falling to your death, because that's so high. The whole thing where you can spawn outside the map might apply to players spawning under it as well. And then I've got to put one on top. I've got to make that one keep people from spawning above the map. That is a random piece I had placed that looked cool in a spot. Whenever I do my globe version, I might adjust some of the mechanics to look more like slightly more modern Forerunner. Let's see. Duplicate. And that's what that is. It's a future plan. I have a folder called future plans with that one object in it. Let's see. Go all the way down to the ground, move this thing all the way up, and adjust the height to the same as it was a second ago. But in reverse, the bottom. Okay, I can't go up. What is happening? I suddenly can't move the object anywhere. Hello? Well, that's weird. Apparently you can end up... See if I can do it with the mouse. Nope, won't let me move it. It got jammed outside the level or something? Okay, well, let's go down and duplicate it again, and move it all the way back up again. And this time we'll watch where we, how high we're putting it by riding with it. As soon as we get outside the level, we'll stop. Like, as soon as it starts to warn me that I'm about to die, that's when I stop. Okay. What? Am I doing it by intervals? I am. There we go. Okay, so that wasn't why I couldn't get back in. That was definitely something else entirely. Oh, that's not what I want to do. What the heck? No, I didn't want to grab it. I want to go down myself. And then... Doesn't need to be nearly as tall... But there are no spawn points up to a certain point. No, that's not what I want. This one, we'll go 400. Let's see if that's enough. Right. I have to angle it right. I think 500 will do. Because that is like here. And that is well above all the spawn points that are in the map. And should handle the roof. So that people can't won't spawn in and then fall onto these rocks and just be like, you know, like that. I wonder if I should do a one-way player fall. No, I don't want to do that. These blocks, they've got the one-way path. I was thinking about putting a one-way so that I can block you from getting out, but then allow you to get back in if you do somehow glitch out of the map. But that'll just encourage people to glitch out of the map. I'd rather them be trapped and die. You know? Because then they'll try to figure out ways to glitch out of the map. Well, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe they won't do that. That might just be stupid anyway. I don't know. But putting it to where it's a one-way path might allow me to let players get back in. They won't be able to get back in at the bottom, though. Oh, you know what? They'll always be able to kill themselves to get back in at a respawn point, because the kill volume at the bottom for the pit actually goes all the way through the floor, and it's wider than the actual shaft. So as long as they get down there and walk toward the pit, then that'll be fine. In fact, I might make it to where it's everywhere outside. Now hopefully this works. The weights are mainly to change the weight of spawn points, and I haven't, this is my solution that's sort of like a workaround. It's not actually tried, and I'm hoping to see that it works whenever we have players, because that bug only happens when you have players in the match, because it's trying to spawn you outside of the enemy's sight cones, and the enemy's sight cones are, you know, not really present. But yeah. But let's see this lighting you're talking about. So it's definitely fairly bright. This is about how bright it is in Halo 2, but I can make it darker. So you're saying you think that this is probably still too bright? Yeah, I could probably get behind that. Let's see, where is it? The sun pitch and yaw, sunlight intensity. Let's see, skylight intensity I think is the 0.4. I think that's the one that I went with. That is changing. That's just like a neutral light that's always on everything. 0.3. What? 0.3. Oh, I hit comma. Is that more what you're thinking? A little darker, a little more dynamic. See, I can't wait to play this. Thanks. I do need that second hole, because now that I know that I don't have a object limit, I can like rebuild this opening just enough to make room for the second hole. But at the time I thought that I was like at the 7,000 object limit, and then it turns out that I'm not really. It's the sky. Kind of see some starlight. So maybe you're right about that. Actually, is that why that's the skylight, isn't it? By just the skylight, you can see the stars. Hmm. There we go. It wasn't wanting to go back into normal forge mode. Let's see, light bounce. Intensity. Okay. Sun pitch, sun yaw. Bring up the intensity of the sun itself. Directional skylight. I don't know what that is. That's for like setting sunsets and stuff like that, I guess. Oh wait, does that mean that like you can make it to where like it will cast a blue light on your map from the sky from one direction, like a red one from the other, and stuff like that to make like really dynamic sunset effects on like your shadows and stuff? Sky intensity, sun intensity. Yeah, I need to still adjust a lot of stuff. Atmospheric fog. I did want this. I might increase intensity here. Wait, am I going down? I thought it was going up. Oh, it maxes at 1. Okay. Fog depth scale. Fog fallout. I don't know where this actually forms. There we go. Getting a bit of a sky fog effect. Of course, we're in the sky, so it might just be like a solid color for us. Fake in-scattering tint. We want to pick something that looks like dust. So it feels like the cave is super dusty. That's what the fog is. It's very blue. Is that because of my skylight? Like, what's going on with that? This doesn't seem to change anything. In scattering. That's the actual amount. Oh, that's interesting. Maybe I do want it low. Maybe that was too bright. I like how dark it got. What do you think? Actually really like that. It actually makes these kind of fog effects more prominent, which is pretty cool. I think that the Waterworks in the background is going to start to throw off how well I can understand the atmosphere of this map and how it's coming along. Because what it's probably doing is making me hear those Waterworks sounds while seeing Waterworks, you know, nearly finished, and it's going to make me just think that this is closer to being done than it is, and it won't let me hear how empty the map feels. You know what I mean? Like it has that echo, and that's cool, and it's got the lighting and everything and the structure. But aside from that sort of cave-like echo, it's kind of like, do you see what I mean? Let me know what you think. If you have any thoughts on that. But I think let's see, we may be done for the day, so I can go watch some audio tutorials, because audio is going to be really important in here. The echoes, the ambience. I need to put something down here that whenever you're in here, it creates the sound of machines. And sort of like whirring in the background, because this area just has this weird like woo, 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 woo noise in the in Halo 2. So yeah, that's what I need to do. So yeah, I gotta leave and go look at tutorials. I think it's about time for the stream to end. It's about time to probably, you know, my kids are probably awake and in the hallway right now, just not bothering me, because they've gotten to the point where they actually prefer to get their own food. They want to like they're getting super independent. I think one of them got really independent and wanted to do it, and the other two now think it's the coolest thing ever. That they're like pouring their own milk, their own cereal and milk, and they're like, you know, they get their own granola bars and stuff like that throughout the day. And yeah, just in general, they're just really into that idea. So that's pretty cool. And like I said, I can reduce the objects by 2 still in this shroud, so I'll talk to Clint about it and see if he thinks that this is too many objects. And I'll move them onto a folder so I can actually count them and see how many objects are in there, or just select them all rather, really easily. And see exactly how many objects are here, because I think it's something like 20. And he might be like, yeah, no, you gotta have like 15 or something like that, in which case I'll have to start removing stuff. But yeah. Okay. I think that's it for the day. I'll catch you guys next time. Let me go ahead and bring up this so I can get it ready to go. And yeah. So yes,